Hello and good morning. So I wanted to come on here and share something that happened last week, and it was really eye-opening to me. So I think it's important to share, and just so that you can understand what goes on behind the scenes that we don't always see. So about 2 weeks ago, I was given a prompt to write on an article, and the prompt was 5 gentle exercises for core strengthening. So I wrote the what I wanted to write to contribute. It got accepted, and then the article ended up getting published last week. So when I saw it was published, I went on to just read it and see, what it said, how it looked, and everything. And when I went on to it, the title was 5 gentle exercises for a flatter belly. And so for me, I'm like, this isn't what I was writing on. Like I'm not advocating for this. Like I have a history of an eating disorder. I know what languaging does as far as how it impacts you, and this is not something I can get behind. And this is also not something that I was writing on. So I was not very happy with the change that was made midway. So I wrote to the writer who I had contributed to, and I just said, listen, like this is my history. I have a history of eating disorder. I know how impactful things that are written can affect people. And I really can't get behind this title. So could you please change the title? I don't want to be part of it. And so, I said, and if you don't change the title, I really just don't want to be, I want my name removed and I want my stuff removed from the article. So she wrote back saying, I completely agree. I never liked the title from the beginning. And it was really more about what the editors wanted. And the real reason behind it was for SEO. And what SEO is search engine optimization. So it's all about how many hits your article gets, how well it is easily found on like Google and search engines. So that was really the main reason for why the title was changed. And so she went back and to her editors and just said, here's the situation, like explained what I had said to her, and just said, can you please change the title? So, silver lining of this is that the title was changed. And so it ended up getting changed to 5 gentle exercises for core strengthening. So that's the beauty of it. But again, if no one's advocating for this change in languaging, we're just going to continue to have more articles that are advocating for how you look. And the reason why so many things come out that kind of prey on your insecurities, your vulnerabilities, or any like negative thoughts you have that like you're not enough, like you need a flatter belly. That's why you should do exercises, which this happens all the time, is because that's how our brains are wired. They're wired to go into a negative direction. So if someone is picking out something we need to be aware of or that is not good enough in us, we're more likely to read those. So that's why you see a lot of titling of articles kind of prey on things that you feel like you should worry about or that are not enough, that make you feel like you're not enough. And so I think it's really important to understand this. And I kind of wish I knew more of like the behind the scenes, like these things happen when I was going through an eating disorder, because I remember reading things and like it really just kind of validated how I was feeling already. Like I'm not enough. Like I need to constantly change how I look to be able to feel whole or feel like I'm enough. And that's not the truth. And if I had known that these articles really were changing the how they were titling because they are trying to get better numbers rather than trying to improve how you feel about yourself, it would have made me realize that like maybe these aren't really valid in what I'm reading. Maybe I need to kind of like take these with a grain of salt. And so I wanted to share that with you today. So for anyone who is reading articles in like pretty popular magazines, and just be aware of the titling and like what are they trying to get from you? Like, are they preying on the fact that maybe you don't feel like you're enough, or that they're just trying to change the way you look and then you'll be happy? Like those messages stick with us. And what we read and what we hear, everything kind of gets stored in our subconscious mind. So the more we read it, the more we hear it, the more we start to believe it. And I know I went through that. And it really does prey on you when you're vulnerable, especially when you're already in a tough place. You feel like these kind of just validate how you feel. So I think it's so important to be an informed consumer of what you read and what you hear, and just know that their priorities are about numbers. They're not necessarily about you feeling good. And I think it's so important to understand that. So I hope this serves you. I hope that you hear this and that you understand that everything you're reading or hearing is not necessarily the best thing to advocate for you and what you need. So thank you for spending your precious time with me. And I hope this kind of gives you a different perspective on things. So enjoy the rest of your day.